Hey guys, this is Sarah and this is my week 92 update. So I'm just going to jump into the numbers. I started my journey on April the 26th, 2012. At that time, I weighed in at 357 pounds. I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy with Dr. Brandon Williams in Nashville, Tennessee at Vanderbilt Hospital. Last week I came to you at 177. This week I am 176. So I'm down a pound for the week. Kind of a big surprise. I really wasn't expecting that, even though I have really been on my game for the most part. I know we've talked about this in several videos over the last couple of weeks, but you know, I've increased my calories. I've really been pushing the fruits and vegetables. I have really been on my water. Every day this week I got way over 64 ounces. Several days of the week. One of the days I got 140. Another day I got 120. Just a lot of water. So really been pushing the fluids. Really trying to make healthy choices and do what's right. So yeah, I'm coming to you in my pajamas and my Wicked sweatshirt. I'm going to see Wicked today. But I have my makeup on. So I'm fixing to get ready for that. And overall, things are going really, really well. I have some special news to share. I've been putting it off because I really just, as paranoid as I am, and I really had just waited wanted to share till a little farther out. But then I just decided that I really wanted to have this blog for myself. And also, that was one of the things I had researched so much was weight loss surgery and pregnancy. And so I decided that since we did have our first ultrasound this week and things look good, that I wanted to share that with all of you. So I'm 8 weeks. Things are going really well. Some of you may have guessed it just by some of the changes I've made. I've actually had a few people reach out to me on Facebook. Oh, before we go any farther, let me say, I'm still not making this public knowledge. Now, in saying that, I realize I am making a World Wide Web YouTube video and announcing it to the world. But my personal life, people in my personal life don't know yet. Well, that's not true. Several people know. My family knows. I have a few close friends that know. I have not told work yet. So, my challenge to you is, I'd love to hear your comments, your statements, your advice, but please only post them on this video, or you are more than welcome to send me a message on Facebook, or send me an email, sarlharrison@hotmail.com. Text message if you have my number. Those things are fine. I just am still anxious about sharing it completely with everyone. But this weight loss surgery journey has been such an important part. And, you know, I kept going back and forth whether or not to share it this early. But I really wanted to have this vlog, not only for myself, but for others. And I want others to be able to hear and know what I have gone through. And, you know, I really just decided, you know, we've been so blessed so far. I really feel like things are going to be fine, but if they're not, and it's not our time, if something were to happen and we miscarry this baby, I need to have that documented too. So, no matter how painful that would be. So here we go. 8 weeks. I promised I wasn't going to cry. I am so blessed. We are so blessed. It is beyond. I still can't believe it. I'm in a little bit of denial. I've rewatched that video where I came on crying to everyone about how that we weren't pregnant and how I didn't know what to do, and I was very, you know, distraught, and I really had felt like I was pregnant. Well, guess what? I was pregnant. I I was just so early that the hormone wasn't picking up yet. I think it was that weekend that we found out that I was for sure. So far, I've lost weight. I have not been sick. Throwing up sick, that is. Now, I have been very nauseous, randomly enough. That's not random. That's not random. What I was going to say about the random is that I have been nauseous in the evenings, not the morning, starting about 5 o'clock every day. And it's funny because I'll feel it coming on. I'm like, what time is it? And it'll be like 4:50. I just start feeling icky. And I don't know if it's because I'm just so exhausted that I just start feeling bad and icky and nauseous or what. Yesterday, I didn't travel as much, and I was in the office the majority of the day, and I was actually nauseous the majority of the day yesterday. And so last night, I wasn't. But just this past week, pretty much from like 5 to 9 or whatever time I go to bed, I've just not really been feeling well. I've not gained weight, but I swear some of my pants already feel tight. Sorry. My jeans just feel tight. What else? My boobs. They actually, they ache. Like when I squeeze them, my nipples have felt like they were going to burn off my body. But for the most part, like they've been sore, but not awful. So, as far as those symptoms go, that's kind of where we are. I had a horrendous headache for the first several weeks. Horrendous. And I really, when I knew I wasn't pregnant, I just kind of chalked it up to those crazy hormones that were in my body. And some of it could have been. I still get headaches from time to time. But overall, things are really well. When I went to the doctor this week, we went Monday, we got to see the baby, and we got to see the heartbeat, and we got to hear the heartbeat. We're running about 144, so that's good. She said anything between 110 and 180 was normal. And I think actually the first time she did the heartbeat, it was like 130 something, and then when she did it again, it was 144. So, what else? When the doctor came in Monday, she said, looks like we just needed to get that mucus out of your tubes. Who knew? I don't know if anybody picked up on it. I was trying not to mention the fact that my husband was out of town. I was unable to go to Costa Rica. We had talked to several people, and then we had discussed it with the doctor, the nurse practitioner that I was seeing prior to pregnancy. Now I'm seeing the regular OBGYN. And she has actually been, she didn't go to church where I go, but she kind of goes, she's from our town, and she's actually been with our church on the mission trip. And I didn't even know that when I asked her. She didn't even know I was asking for me. We had just kind of proposed the question of, what would you say to a woman in her first trimester who was thinking about going to Costa Rica on a mission trip? And she said, absolutely not. She said, it's just not worth it. It's not a chance. She said, maybe if you were going for a vacation, maybe, because you're going to be in different areas. She said, but your immune system is going to be so low, and you're going to be so susceptible to anything. And she also made the comment that, unfortunately, if I were there and something bad were to happen, or I were to go, have problems, that if I were to go to the hospital, it is very likely that I might not ever be able to have kids again if they got a hold of my body. So that scared me enough. And, we prayed about it and talked about it. And, as guilty as I felt and as bad as I felt, we just made the choice that I wasn't going to go. So Ed went without me. So that's been kind of, it's bittersweet. It's worth it not to go for this reason, but I just didn't see it coming. And, gosh, we're so blessed. And we were blessed anyways. And I know that. So there we are. If you guys have questions, I was going to show you this ultrasound picture. I don't know. It's a terrible picture, and I don't even know if you can. You can't tell anything. You can't see. Yeah, you can't see anything on here. But like when I took a picture of the picture to put it on my phone, like send it to my mom and dad. It was great, but you can't tell anything from that picture. But just a little peanut. And yeah, if you guys have questions, comments, if you are in the process of fertility stuff, or you, I don't know how much help I can be, but I'll be glad to help anybody in any way with anything. So yeah, 92 weeks post-op VSG and 8 weeks pregnant. So I will continue to do my vlogs, hopefully weekly. That's my plan. I promise I'm eventually going to get back on the tip and trick wagon. Just things have just been so busy. In addition to all this really awesome news, I have found out, I found out last Friday that I will no longer have a job as of July 1st. So that has been a huge stressor. You know, I have always wanted to stay home with our children, not forever, but for a while anyways, and that has been something that we have been praying about. But financially, I was just had settled to realizing that probably wasn't going to be in our cards. We just don't have the money. I mean, we're blessed, and there's a lot of things that we have that we don't need, and we had discussed getting rid of tons of things, you know, getting rid of some unnecessary bills, but just in the long run, we were going to be so strapped. So, you know, I really had just been praying that financially God would just give us peace, and that, you know, I wasn't going to stress about any of it, and I wanted Him to just handle it, and if I needed to work full-time or part-time, that I would, and, you know, God just gives you what you ask for. And as sad as I will be to see that time in my life change, I just didn't see it coming in quite this way, I guess. So Friday was a hard day. I ended up not working that day after my boss and I talked. And it's not just me. There's another girl. I've been at my job for 9 years. And basically the state of Tennessee, or the federal government, is just making changes and mandates and saying that if you don't have one of these 2 certain degrees, we're not going to allow you to serve these children 0 to 3. Which the crazy thing about all of that is these changes have sort of been coming for the last couple of years, not quite this way. But there have been specific trainings that our government, that our state of Tennessee has been putting on, that they would only allow certain individuals to attend that had a certain degrees. And I have been like one of the 2 in my office they would take this whole time. My degree is in communication disorders, so that's speech therapy. I do not have a master's, so in the state of Tennessee, I'm not allowed to practice speech therapy without a master's, but I'm an early intervention teacher, so that's basically what I've been doing for the last 9 years, is being doing early intervention and speech. And we do a lot of consultative physical therapy, a lot of consultative speech, a lot of consultative OT. We go into the home and work with the families and the children, so that they can take these kids and incorporate all these things that they need to help these kids get to where they need to be in their daily activities. So it's not just like a hardcore therapy for 30 minutes all day long. For an hour, we're in there learning from each other, training each other, trying to help them incorporate these child's physical therapy exercises into daily routines, like washing your hands. You know, there's a lot of things in this world I'm not good at, and I'm not trying to act like I'm better than anybody, but I'm really good at my job, really good at my job. So it's kind of a hard blow. Been there 9 years, and bigger and better things are coming, you know, my way. This has just kind of been all a blessing. So in the future, I may go back to school. Haven't really decided. I can't imagine starting back to school at 30. Well, I'm 34 now, but I probably wouldn't go till next year, so I don't know. We may just draw unemployment for, as long as we can get the insurance worked out. That's the toughie. This is all coming right in the middle of my pregnancy, so we'll see. So I appreciate any special thoughts, prayers you guys want to share with me. As always, I feel like your family, and I just want to share this with you, and I appreciate everything. So We will see you hopefully Tuesday for tip and trick, but if not, I will see you next week for week 93 post-op and week 9 pregnancy. Okay, bye.